You're on the phone with a seller. Everything's going great, and then they hit you with one question, and your mind goes blank. You stumble. You say something generic, and you can feel the listing slipping away. I've been an agent for almost 30 years, and I've trained hundreds of agents who used to lose deals exactly like that. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to say to bring a cold lead back from the dead. Walk into a FSBO's home and leave with the listing. Take a deal off an expired seller who's ignoring everyone else and get a buyer to commit to you without ever sounding like you're chasing them. And stay with me to the end because I'm handing you the exact script book I built and used for almost 30 years. Every word in this video comes straight out of it. Let's jump into the first one. Let me start with the one almost every agent ignores, and it's the one sitting right in their pocket. Your next listing is probably already in your phone. It's the people you've sold homes to. It's your friends, your past clients, the folks who already know you and already trust you. And most agents never call a single one of them. They go chasing cold strangers online while their warmest leads just sit there going stale. And the numbers are not even close on this. Last year, 43% of buyers found their agent through a referral. Another 18% just went straight back to an agent they'd worked with before. Add that up, 6 out of 10 deals come from people who already trust an agent. 6 out of 10. That's not a cold lead. That's not a Facebook ad. That's your database, and almost nobody works it. So here's how you work it. You don't need a fancy reason to call. You just call to catch up. You ask how the family's doing, and then before you hang up, you say this: my business is built on referrals from great people like you. So before I let you go, who do you know that may need to buy or sell in the near future? That's the whole move. You're not begging anybody for anything. You're just reminding them what you do for a living and giving them an easy chance to hand you a name. And here's why it works. People want to refer somebody they trust. They just forget you do real estate until you remind them. This call is the reminder. Now, a lot of the time, they're going to flip the question right back on you. They'll say, oh, so how's the market doing? And this right here is where I watch agents kill the whole call. They get a little nervous. They say, oh, it's great, with a big smile. And that's it. Conversation over. They handed back the easiest opening they'll ever get and did nothing with it. So never just say great. Take the question and turn it into a meeting. Then they ask, how's the market? You say, it's moving fast. Home values keep climbing. You want to know what yours is worth right now? And watch what just happened. They tossed out a polite little question, and now you're pulling up their home's value. You're asking what they've upgraded since they bought it, and you're setting up coffee to walk them through the number. One throwaway question, and now you're sitting at their kitchen table looking at your next listing. That's the power of your database. Work the people who already trust you, and never, ever let how's the market dead end at great. Now let's talk about the for sale by owner, because this is where you can separate yourself from every other agent in town in about 30 seconds. Here's the thing you have to understand about a for sale by owner. By the time you call them, a dozen agents have already called that same week, maybe 2 dozen. Every one of them opened the same way. Hi, I'd love to list your home. So the seller got their guard all the way up. The second you sound like you want the listing, you're agent number 13 and they tuned you right out. So you don't sound like the dozen. You don't ask for the listing at all. You ask to come see the home. You say something like, I'm an agent and I keep track of the homes for sale for the buyers I'm working with. Do you mind if I ask you a few quick questions? Feel how different that is? You're not there to take their listing. You're an agent who might have a buyer for them. That's a door they'll actually open that gets you inside the house, which is exactly where you need to be. And once you're inside, you ask one question, and I want you to slow down when you ask it. Don't rush it. Let it sit. You say, You told me you'd give it 30 days on your own, but you've got a full-time job, you got the kids, and honestly, selling a home is a full-time job all by itself. So realistically, how long are you actually going to try to do this alone? That question does something a phone call never could. Face to face, standing in their living room, that 30 days they were sure about quietly start shrinking into a week or two. They start being honest with themselves because now there's a real person standing there instead of a stranger on the phone. Then, right before you walk out the door, you say the line that wins the whole thing. I call it the clincher. I came over here just to look at the home, but now that I'm standing here, I'll be honest, I'm 100% confident I can sell it. If I can get you the price you want in the time frame you need and do all the work for you, would you list it with me this week? You walked in to just look. You're walking out asking for the listing, and here's why it's so hard for them to say no. You're now the only agent who actually got inside, sat with them, complimented their home, and looked them in the eye. Every other agent in town is still just a voice on the phone. They didn't call back. You're real. You're in the home. That's the for sale by owner, and that's how you take it. Next is the expired listing, and this one is gold because the seller is sitting on a pile of frustration and you're the agent who can fix it if you don't say the wrong thing. Picture it from their side. Their home was on the market, it sat there, it didn't sell, and the contract finally ran out. They're embarrassed, they're annoyed, and just like the FSBO, their phone is blowing up with agents. So you can't open with, I'm so sorry your home didn't sell, because every other caller already said that. Instead, you skip the sympathy and you point them straight at the thing they actually want. You say, I noticed your listing expired. I'm curious, once this home sells, where are you headed? You just walk them right past the failure and drop them into the dream. Now they're not thinking about the home that didn't sell. They're picturing the move they've been waiting on. That's a completely different conversation, and you started it. Then you tell them why it didn't sell. And the key here is you make it simple enough that a kid could repeat it back. You say, I found there's really only 3 reasons a great home doesn't sell. 1, the market just didn't get in front of enough buyers. 2, the home didn't show well. It didn't connect with people. Or 3, the price was off. Which one do you think it was? 3 reasons. They can hold all 3 in their head at once. And the second you ask, which one do you think it was? They start telling you everything that went wrong with the last agent. Now, they're doing the selling for you. But here's where the real money is, the comebacks. Because expired sellers throw 2 punches that knock most agents flat. The first one, they'll say, you know what? We're just gonna take it off the market for a while. Don't panic, don't argue. You say, I completely hear you. Let's just do this. Give me 15 minutes. If my plan makes sense to you, we'll sell it. If it doesn't, you're only out 15 minutes. Fair enough? 15 minutes, low risk, easy yes. Then comes the brutal one. They look you dead in the eye and they go, well, where were you when my home was actually on the market? And this is the question that ends most agents' calls because it feels like an accusation. But you've got an answer, and it's a good one. You say, that's a great question. Honestly, I was busy keeping the promises I made to my own sellers out there marketing and selling their homes. I didn't even know your home was on the market until today when your listing expired. Kind of scary when you think about it, right? And that is exactly why we should sit down, because I specialize in selling the homes that other agents just couldn't. You took their hardest, sharpest question and you flipped it into the single best reason to hire you. That right there is how you win an expired. Last one, And this is the script agents are the most afraid of, getting a buyer to actually commit to you. Here's the fear. Agents think that if they ask a buyer to commit, they're gonna come off as pushy or desperate or salesy, and the buyer's going to get spooked and run. So you know what they do instead? Nothing. They never ask. They drive that buyer around to a dozen houses, pour weeks into them, and then the buyer turns around and writes the offer with some other agent. All that work gone. So here's the fix, and it's all in the framing. You do not ask the buyer to commit to you. You frame the whole thing as you taking the stress off of them. After you've walked them through everything you do for your clients, you land it like this. Bottom line, buying a home can be really stressful, and my entire job is to take as much of that stress off your plate as I can. Does that make sense? So would you like me to help you find your home? Notice that's not a contract pitch. There's no pressure in it. It's just, do you want my help? And when you've done the work up front, most people say yes, because you just made yourself the answer to their stress instead of one more salesperson. But you'll still get 2 pushbacks, and you need to come back for both. The first one, they'll say, well, I actually have a friend in the business. Most agents just deflate and give up right there. You don't. You say, calm as you can be, then honestly, you should probably work with your friend. But let me ask you one thing. Is your friend willing to do all the extra work that I do? And do they have my contacts, my resources, my skills? You're not fighting them. You're not trashing the friend. You're just calmly making them wonder for the first time whether that friend actually measures up. And usually they don't. The second pushback, I just don't want to commit to anyone right now. Here's your answer. I hear that a lot, and I get it. Most people start out talking to a bunch of agents until they find the one who clearly stands out from the rest. So let me ask you, based on everything I've shown you today, do you honestly believe I can find you the right home and negotiate it for you? Then put me to work. No pressure anywhere in that. You just hand the decision right back to them, and you make saying yes to you feel like the obvious, easy choice. That's how you lock in a buyer without ever once sounding like you're chasing them. So those are 4 scripts that can change your business. But here's the thing. I just gave you 4. The full book has the word-for-word scripts for every conversation you'll ever have. Door knocking, open houses, the full listing presentation, the exact lines for every objection a seller can throw at you. Picture this. You walk into the next appointment and you're not nervous. You're not winging it. You're not lying awake that night replaying what you should have said. You know exactly what to say no matter what comes at you. That's what the book does. And like I promised at the start, it's yours. Free. I've spent almost 30 years building it, testing every line on real sellers with real money on the line. And you can download the whole thing right now in the description below. Go grab it, start using these, and I'll see you in the next video.